Alright, hello YouTubers. I'm going to try to do this in one part. I hope I can. I usually ramble on. I've had some questions that I've not even noticed on the comment side on my Hot Blast 1500. Okay, let's back up a little bit. I've had this now for 10 years. And I want to do just a quick, hopefully a quick enough video. I had some questions about where I lived and what do I burn and whatnot. And I did one about my wood. Let's go. About 2 weeks ago, I decided I want to try some coal, and it's hard to find coal. Now, I found a place that sells bituminous in my area. I live in Georgia, but I'm like 5 minutes from Chattanooga, so that's how close I am. But the nearest place I can get any coal, and it's bituminous, is up in Cleveland, which is about a 35-mile drive from me. Now, I know a couple of the Tractor Supplies around here sell that anthracite, and that's what I want to burn. So, and I'm burning it now, but let's go over a few little things with this. I did my regular cleaning on the stove, my pipe, my grates, because I put some new fire brick in. I hadn't put no fire brick in it. I had some cracked, and I was wanting to replace them, so I did that. Now, I'm going to give you a shot of what's going on, because it's pretty warm back here. As you can see, that's my temperature on my box. There's my temperature on my pipe. Now, here's the coal. That's anthracite. Burns nice and clean. They call them dancing blue ladies. As you can see, the fire bricks to the side there. Now, I don't know if you can get a shot of that. See that up there? That's I forget what they call them, but it's designed to work with the door draft, the damper that's on the door. It's designed, they put them in there, they're heat shields that helps build the heat up in here so your heat ain't just running down the pipe. Now you got two, you got two of them in there in a Hot Blast. If you got the 1500, 57 M, which is the green ones, which the only difference between them and these were for US stove, the red. The green ones, that's why they have them, same stove, 57 M, is the green one, same identical stove. They were for Tractor Supplies. So if you got a green one, you know why, and that's why. If most likely that's where you bought it at. But anyway, them two plates in the top, one goes to the very back, and then you got one in front of it, and then you got probably a quarter of your stove inside there. There's where it circulates your draft and pulls up. So now, we've talked about this in my first video I did with this, but I'm going to get a little more detailed on it. Now, burning wood, I keep about a rick in here, and I've been burning wood, for 10 years now. And I went to the coal. You can get that 40-pound bags of anthracite, and it burns really clean. You don't get all that black smoke like you do with the bituminous at first, because once it gets going, goes away. Because everybody knows if you burn coal, it does have a smell. If you get any smoke rolling in your house, it's going to smell. It does kind of have a smell until it gets burned. You burn off all the oils, and it has more oils and stuff in it. So, but it's a little warmer in here than I want it to be honest, because I had to get it going. I've got some bituminous, and what I do is I build me a regular kindling fire like I was going to start a fire. And once my kindling gets going, I throw that bituminous in there. Now, I don't throw a lot, because I can tell you right now, it will start blazing and get really hot in this stove. So don't try to just load it up at first. And I use the bituminous, once it does get burning and it's good red hot coal, I scatter it out in there, and then I start putting on my anthracite. That's what I've been doing. I can put almost 4 bags in this, I don't think it's a 20-gallon bin there, and it's wide so I can shovel it right out, and I just use my ash shovel. I'm going to actually do something a little different with that and get a bigger one. I've never used it since I've had it, because I got an ash pan. I just dump it and go with it, and every year I clean it. I use my shop vac if need be, but most of the time I get everything out. I clean my pipe, and I went up and cleaned my pipe and everything out. I didn't have much in there. I had a little more than usual because some of the wood I've had this year was green. And that's the reason why I had a guy that religiously brought me wood. I hadn't seen him in over a year now, so I can't get a hold of him. I don't know what's going on with the guy, so be it. But I do have wood. You know, it's not. I don't have a problem. I don't have to buy wood. I got plenty of wood around me. Let's recap on how your stove, the stove first, and then we'll get to what you burn, because I'm gonna get out of this room. It's a little warm. Matter of fact, I can open this back door and shut the blowers down. Let's do this. Let me get this back door open, because it gets pretty warm back here. It's toasty back here. This was my back porch, and I sealed it off, and these just blow. I don't have it tied into my duct. Just blow straight through into my living area, and my bedrooms and all are connected right on. So when it keeps it nice and warm in there. Now, with all that being said, the stove itself, I've been burning now 9 years. I do recommend you, if you can, get your wood, let it season good. And I've had comments and I've had questions, and I'm hoping I'll answer everybody's in this that's asked me the couple of questions about, hey, I couldn't, my wood burns up in it, or this, that, and other. Now, try to get good seasoned wood. If you're doing it yourself, you got your, access to your own wood to cut and split, I do suggest, start early. Season it for at least a year, if not longer. If you got access to where you can stock up wood, get it seasoning. If you can let it season out a good year, or better, 2 years, you're in good shape if you got access to stock wood and do that, because that's what I try to do. Even with my wood, I try to build up. I don't care how much I get. I get it split, and I stack it and let it season. And I have mixed some green with the season, works pretty good. Now, with your stove, don't get discouraged. Because I heard good and bad when I first got mine, and people were saying, hey, it just burns through the wood and this and there. You got to realize this is a furnace. It is big. It holds a big log. You can put, I think, up to a 30-inch log in these things. I've seen a lot of stuff people done, what videos you can find on them, where they're packing their door damper with insulation, or they change that out and do something different, or they buy a different type. I've seen them put a air inducer right here on your draft door in the front where your ash pan's at, which is down here. That's a big no-no. I just don't see doing that. I've not had any issue. And look, I've got a damper, an inline pipe damper right there. And I'm actually going to put it in. I have no damper on my pipe. And I've noticed when I burn wood, and I got good seasoned wood, if I'm burning it at nighttime, now, take where we're at, temperatures fluctuate. We might have mild winters, we don't have like they do up north, have these freezing days about every day for month on end or whatever. We could have freezing temperatures at night and then up in the 50s tomorrow. Or we can have a week or two of nice cold weather, only highs in the 30s, and then all of a sudden it starts warming up again. You'll have cold nights or whatever. So I try to keep this at a minimum, and I burn mine usually lower than everybody. And if you'll watch this temperature, it's going to go back down a little bit, but it's probably going to hold right around that 450 to 400 mark, because I finally, like I said, I've been banking my coal. I've putting my coal in here, getting my anthracite burning over the past hour. And I started with, like I said, with kindling and the bituminous. And once I got a good little bed of coals with that, and it done burn off all the smoke and stuff, then I started adding my anthracite. And what I do is I open that bottom door. And once I get that anthracite going, I'll put another layer. It depends on how cold it is to how much I'm going to put in here. You got to keep in mind, this is put 30 inches in there of a bed there, and you get a lot in there, you're going to have some heat. So when it runs with the coal. Now with the wood, and you're putting the wood in there, back to the stove, the damper part, I've noticed when I'm burning, my temperature on my box will be a little hotter, but then my temperature on that pipe will be up there. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to add that damper. I've talked with the guy that worked for U.S. Stove for years, and now it's American Hearth and Patio over here, which U.S. Stove is just right up here in South Pittsburgh. That's about a 45-minute drive from it for us, and 40 to 45 minute. And it's recommended. They were saying put an air inducer. It's recommended if you're going to burn coal, put an air inducer. I see no need in that. Don't need it. I can tell you right now. I opted out on buying one when I got mine. There's where it goes. You know, it has its own thermostat to kick on if it notices the box. You can set that temperature. If that box cools down too much, it'll kick it on and get your coals going. That's why, if you're burning coal, they recommend that. So, and mine's got the factory thermocoupling in there. I have not changed nothing. I think them kick on at 140 degrees. Don't quote me on that. It's in the book. You know, and I didn't have no problem hooking this up when I did all this, you know. A little help from the guys, U.S. Stove, you know, and everything. I not a problem. I don't recommend piecing stuff. Going over here and buying the cheap stuff, this, that, and other. If you're going to do this, do it right. I've seen people, they'd have pipe putty packed around each seam or half on what, because they getting smoke and all that. Well, one thing, you got to start a fire in them and let them season and burn off all the oils. And once they do that, and you get wood burning in there, you get some soot build up in there. You know, it gets in them little seams. That's going to stay. It's never going to come out when you clean your pipe. That's going to be there. But I do recommend buy the good stuff. You don't want to be worried down the road. It's 10 years old. And you don't want to be worried down the road, your pipe, having to change this every 4 or 5 years, buying that cheap stuff over at Lowe's or whatever. Buy the good stuff. And when mine goes into the roof, I think I explained my first video, I got the double insulated deal in that box. That connects to the joists here, and then the joists on the roof of this roof. And then I got 5 more feet out the top. So I have real good draw. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that damper in. It's probably going to go in this one section. Let me back off here a little bit. That one section right there. I think I'm going to put my damper in right here. I could put it down here a little lower, but I'm not. I'm going to put it up here and slow some of that heat that I'm losing. Because I am losing when I burn wood. I do lose a lot of heat through that pipe. Now, but let's go back to the stove, the way it's designed. You know, I was talking about the 2 plates in the top. It's got fire bricks. It's lined with 6 fire bricks on each side. And the way this draft works. And so if I put that damper, that line damper in, I can slow that down even more. The door damper does good. It does what it's designed. The book recommends you leave it on high. It closes off. It's a barometric deal. It closes off on its own as the stove heats up, and then as the stove gets colder, it opens up. But that's for wood. Coal likes its air from the bottom. Now, with all that being said, since I've started burning the coal, you can see, I normally, when I have wood in this thing, I've got that bottom draft door. Let me see if I can get this good picture here. That's about a ½ inch right there. I think it only opens up about 3/4 of an inch, almost an inch. Now, when I'm burning wood, I've got that thing. It's got a couple little nubs on the back side. I don't know if you can barely see them little nubs on the back side of it. So you can't shut it off all the way. But when I'm burning wood, I run that all the way in, and then I run it out, maybe 1 turn or 2. Now, it depends if I'm mixing with green wood or whatever. If I got good seasoned wood, I only got that open 1 turn. And that slows the wood down. You're not going to burn through your wood. And I do suggest, too, if you see some of the bigger chunks I got over there, and then I usually got smaller stuff. I'll put some smaller in there and then put some of the bigger ones like at nighttime when it comes to the wood. Say 10, 11 o'clock, I'll put a couple of small ones, and then I'll throw a couple of them big ones in there, and that's it for the night. And usually it's about 6 in the morning when I have to come back in here, 6, 7, when we get up, and I tend it again if I'm burning wood. Now, and it does really good, but I think if I put that damper on, I can slow that draft down a little more. It's still going to burn good, but I don't lose that heat that I'm losing up the pipe when I'm burning wood, and it's going to be more efficient. I'm going to get a longer burn time on the wood, but I don't burn through the wood unless you just don't set this right. That bottom damp, that door, that airflow is everything for that draft. That one little deal will pretty much tell you how this is going to go. Now, like I said, I'm burning coal now. It's been 2 weeks. Let me show you inside again. There's them nice dancing blue ladies. They say it's layered all the way to the back. I'm not up. You can feel this up top of the fire bricks. As you can see, I'm just barely halfway up them. And actually, I'm probably too much. And I didn't really want to get that much. But that door burning coal, when I try to slow this down, see, you can tell, like I said, I just banked it again and they finally got going, and I'll see now it's going to go down. It's probably going to stay right in that area. And I've not had no issue with the coal. I have no need to buy a draft inducer and put on the back. That will burn that coal. I might layer this one more time here when I'm done with the video. And I won't touch that again when it comes to this coal till in the morning. And it'll keep it a nice 77, 76 degrees in there in the whole house. And it's just single level house. So, but that door draft is everything. Now, when you go back to draft, and I've had people say, "Oh, I get smoke back through the door damper there. You get smoke back and everything." Well, you're not getting enough oxygen, or you're getting backdraft. Now, that has to do with pressure. I'm not no meteorologist, but you know, I can tell you can get back if it's a real windy day. You can get backdraft through your pipe, and it's pushing down. That's another reason I need to put that damper in. That helps with that. But your pressure in your house can change from, say, you got a storm rolling in. You know, that pressure change outside is going to change in here too. So, but I've got good draft, so I've not had no issue. But one time or twice, I think I got it too hot and I shut the doors off real quick, and I didn't have that open enough to burn off the gases out of the wood, and I got a couple little puffs through there. But once I opened the door and I opened it up, and then I kind of eased it back on a little bit to close there after about a minute, you know, then that was gone. The gases burned off, went on up, you know, done with it. So just keep that in mind. Learn your stove. Don't get frustrated. Don't matter what stove you get, you're gonna have that learning curve. Learn your stove. Don't think, "Oh, I throw it in there, I didn't like this," and start it right up. You're gonna have to learn your stove. So once you do that, you're going to be fine. And especially with these. I've not, like I said, I've seen no reason why to do all this crazy stuff other people's done. It just took me a little time learning how to adjust, get that draft door. Like I said, when I'm burning wood, most of the time that door, that little spin down there is almost completely shut when I burn wood. Now with this coal, I've got it open a lot more because coal wants its air from the bottom. Now, to kind of recap back, because I know this video cut short here, when you get that coal going, like I said, you can get this anthracite going too. I suggest if you don't have, like me, I got some bituminous to throw in there on top of my kindling, and that stuff takes right off. If you don't, get a good wood fire going in there. Get a good wood fire going. And once it starts getting to where you're starting to have good hot coals and flames still with that wood, then you can start layering your coals in there. Don't just throw it in there in one big whack. Layer it in. Layer it in. This, if it was that bituminous, you'd be all right. I mean, but you don't want to throw a lot of that in here. Let me tell you, because you get bigger chunks and stuff out of that too. And this is nut size, they call it, nut coal, the anthracite. And you start throwing big wads of damn that bituminous in there, you're going to have it rolling, buddy. Let me tell you. I made the mistake. And you can see that box right there, this postal box. It's a regular, 10 by 10, I think they are. I got this coal free from a guy. He was packing them in boxes at first, and then he got smart, got some barrels, put them in when I went and got it. Anyway, just regular size box. You know, there you go, 12 by 12. Sorry, by 5.5. And I throw the whole box in there, and oh boy, woo, big mistake. She was rolling. So I suggest a little half a box. Now, half a box, once you throw it in there on top of your kindling, if you got bituminous, it's going to take off. And then once it starts burning off all the oils on it, you can go in there and poke it around, spread it out, and you can start layering your anthracite in there. I suggest about a 1-2 inch layer. You know, just start layering it in. Good even bed, let that get going. You know, and it don't take that long. I open this bottom door. Now, I will tell you, do not. I am not responsible for anybody that doesn't know how to learn their stove, but getting this coal going, I open that bottom door. Even when I start my wood fires, I'll open that bottom door. When my kindling gets going, I throw my wood in there, and once my wood actually starts burning, I shut that. I'm done. Same with this coal, and that's what I do. Now, I let that coal start catching. When you see it burning blue and orange, when it see them blue, they call them blue dancing ladies, it's burning off the gas. They're burning now. And when it first starts, you're going to see a little bit orange, but you don't hardly get any smoke off this anthracite. So I'll tell you what, we're going to stop this video, and I'm going to do a part 2. Because this will stop if I don't. So I'm going to stop this video, and I'll do a part 2. So, and I'm going to run these up as soon as I get done.